Welcome in. We are going to deep dive and dissect to see what is going on under the surface, bringing you clarity and focus and targeted energy for what it is that you want to bring in. The first message I did receive just before I got on this video is, who are we if we don't have each other? That just filled my heart up with so much joy, because I thought, these readings and the idea that we can just go onto YouTube and open these up and the exact message for the exact moment is in the right place at the right time. And because you listened to your soul and took action when you were called, you are basking in the joy of what it could possibly mean when you are completely healed. You do not have to do this alone. And so my whole purpose is to bring you back to yourself. I'm not here to entangle you more or fill you up with more chaos. I am here to bring actual clarity to what it is that you're experiencing. I can inspire you, but I'd prefer that you were able to regulate that inspiration on your own. So my goal is to prepare you for every single day. The first thing I'm going to do is sort of dive into the current energy. I'm just going to pull a card from the Rider-Waite deck. Man, this card keeps on coming out. I feel like there's a lesson that's not being learned. It just keeps cycling. But the difference is this card actually just came out in upright, where before it kept coming out in reversed. So we've got the Five of Swords, and I love this picture. This is Tarot of the Abyss, and I love this author and the way that they did their art. Let me just show you. If you're driving, don't worry about it. I will tell you all about it. Okay, so it's a boy, a masculine energy, but a youthful, young energy. And they have a butterfly trapped inside of a jar. And that butterfly represents their dreams, the possibilities, the potential that is just in this jar. And then in a pin pad, or I'd say a sewing needle cushion, their swords pushed into it rather than actual sewing needles, which means that they've laid down their swords, they've put them aside, they've surrendered their swords, and they're ready for change. They've been dreaming about this change for a very long time, but it's just been in contemplation. And I always say it's important to take action, because your dreams aren't tangible until you start taking the steps that are needed to be taken. And each step you take, another door opens up. It's like it's like a game show. Like every time you're offered these two directions, and as soon as you eliminate one direction, the next direction comes, but there wasn't one different from the other. They were exactly the same direction. You just needed to choose. And once you step through that doorway, the glory is right on the other side. I'm going to look at the lesson, financial discipline. And so whenever I see financial discipline, it just reminds me of, if you're here watching this video, you are uniquely attuned to the sensitivities of the universe and the complexities of the universe. You are psychic energy, and it's very creative. It's like you could do anything, but what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do? You got to pick one. And I know for years I couldn't pick one, but I did end up in the position that I'm in. However, I ended up there through my creative adventures. And one day I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing what I always wanted to do. But I did create a discipline because I understood how creative I was. So every day I had rituals. I got up and I make my bed. I make sure I take care of myself. I make sure I feed myself. I make sure I drink my water. I make sure I do my stretches in the morning. Like, I had to implement those things. And I noticed that as I implemented one thing one tiny little baby, like I must have made my bed every day for a year before I implemented another ritual. That's all I could handle. I couldn't handle. I was so rebellious and so, I didn't want the structure. I didn't want the discipline. I didn't want to be told what to do. I thought that that's all that was, but it wasn't. It was actually a potential opportunity for me to start creating structure for myself in my own life. You're no longer looking for intention. You're no longer asking for permission. You are it. The purpose. You are the purpose in the process. Every single thing that you do is the purpose in the process. So it is important, take off my little thing here. It is important that, I know I feel like I'm taking off the restraints. And I found that I was able to be more creative because I felt more foundational. I felt sustainable. I felt like there was a structure. I felt like I was accomplishing something every day. I could see the results unfolding in front of me. And I thought, oh my gosh, the thing that I avoided my whole life was the exact thing that I needed. But I needed to create it myself through my own blueprint, through my own way. I couldn't have Bob making the rules for me. I needed to make them, but because I didn't want Bob to make them, I refused to make them because I thought I was doing what Bob wanted me to do. But actually, creativity is something that has to be harnessed. Like, I'm a writer, so if I want to write and I want to create room for writing, I have to create a space where no matter what, I have to go sit down in that space. No matter what, I have to stare at the computer or whatever it is that I am doing. I have to create that space and I have to show up every single day. And then it just gets better and better and better and better. I've created a ritual. I've made an intention behind that ritual. And now I'm on my way to glory. We are going to dive into your emotions, see what's going on in there. It's good to do your spiritual vitals because that way your T's are crossed, your I's are dotted. You go to the grocery store and you're not entangling in the people around you. I'm not wondering what Bob is doing because I'm clear on what I'm doing. And that's really what causes entanglement is we're having out-of-body experiences because we don't know what's going on in our own body. Life is sacred. Your purpose is to bask in the joy of having each other. So, right? I can't enjoy you if I'm trying to figure you out, if I'm trying to correct you, if I'm trying to tell you what to do, if I think I know all the answer. I can't enjoy you. I can't enjoy me. I can't enjoy anything. So it's good to know where I stand emotionally. Okay, so your energy is in recovery. Good job. I love that. So you're just coming out of something. Your emotional is in gossip. So it looks like you're trying to define what it was that you were in. Stop. That's like the abyss. Like this is where you are, right? You are focused on your potential. That's it. How do you focus on your potential? Where's potential? Potential is in the now, in this moment. Potential is me drinking water. Potential is me going for a walk. Potential is me reading the cards and doing this video. Potential is in the execution of the action that you're thinking about taking. But if you're still here, then you're just basking in lower frequencies. There's nothing to figure out. Nothing. You can't figure out what those lower frequencies are until you get into the higher frequencies. You have to be able to see where you were. Notice like every time something ends, not too long after you finally have revelations, you start to understand. Things start to make sense. See, that's the point at which you keep on moving forward. Okay. So, I like this. So mental is miracle. Good job. So we've moved you from the gossip and the emotional to the mental miracle. So that mental miracle is going to create better stories. And really that's what Spirit is asking, is that those better stories come through. And then we've got impatience in your physical. So we're going to shift that into divine timing. Everything always works out at the right time, at the right place, in the right way. Everything always does. Again, remember, I'm here to remind you, every time, everything has always worked out perfectly in your favor. Every single time. Even some of the unhealed experiences that you have had will eventually come to conclusion, but they can't come to conclusion if you're still focused on them. You got to focus away from them. Your spiritual is insecurity. So I would say that you are having a hard time trusting your own ability to navigate the world. And so we're going to figure out what that insecurity is in just a minute. Okay, we've got your challenge is bittersweet, and your strength is trickery. Let's see how we can translate that. So if your strength is trickery, I would say that you're pretty good with discernment. You're pretty good about filtering. You're pretty good about seeing what is truth and what isn't. Cool. That's awesome. But your challenge is bittersweet. So, and then since we have your spiritual insecurity, these two go hand in hand. And so let's see what your insecurity is. I'm going to try to deep dive into that for just a second. Okay, let's get this annihilated. Understand karmic returns. What you send out into the universe comes back. So be mindful of your energy. So this is really so simple. Spirituality. So you're a human being, okay? Let's first clear that up. Let's take you out of the fantasy and get you into reality. You're a human, and you're here to get dirty, scream, yell, feel your emotions, right? The insecurity is when our heart is closed. So we want to open up your heart. I want you to see this, the ripples of the water here. I actually just created a magnet for my car, like a logo, and I put these ripples on there because I was like, whatever you're sending out is rippling into the universe, and then every single person around you is proving you to be right. Whatever you think Bob thinks about you, he's going to act in a way. Have you ever seen those videos where people are talking, but they did a dub over it, like musical dub, and so even the scariest pictures look funny now because they took a funny song and put a funny song on a scary story, right? So like your insecurity is your own story. So your mental miracle right now is important. We want to make sure that we are creating a mental miracle. Listen to chakra music, heart chakra music. Listen, like do yourself just. If you are having an insecurity, I want that to be annihilated. The first thing you got to say is that's not real. Not real. It's just a part of me that I'm rejecting. And as soon as you receive it, crown chakra, as soon as you receive it, then you will start to heal it. But if you focus on it, wishing you didn't have it, like, right? See how this boy, he's just focusing. He's focusing on what the potential. We don't want to just focus on the potential. We want the potential to come alive. Okay, I pulled integration. So the frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves. allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. Isn't that great? So that's masculine, feminine, twin flame, the mirror reflection is integrating at this time. And when that happens, I don't know, a couple days ago, I had a day where like all of these insecurities were coming up and they were just, I was observing them. I was like, that is a very interesting thought. Like all of a sudden my clothes weren't fitting. All of a sudden my hair wasn't doing what I wanted. And I thought, this is a very interesting day, right? But I'm just observing, Bobby. I'm observing her and what she's transmuting and what she's going through and who she's connected to. So if I have a client that is healing insecurities, I'm linked. And so it's important for me to observe Bobby because Bobby is easily influenced by those energies. And my higher spirit, Bobby's higher spirit, needs to come in and remind her of who she is. Listen, you're a human. You're having a human experience, but this is who you are. This is who they are. This is what you've worked through and transmuted in your life. This is what they've worked through and transmuted in their life. So it gives me a better discernment. But it doesn't last long because as soon as I notice it, I immediately shift. I'm like, ooh, yeah, got it. Ooh, yeah, got it. And then I just know what's going on with everybody because I'm not taking it personally. I'm not bringing it into myself. I'm not deciding to own it. I'm not doing any of that. Forget about it. I'm going to pull a Kali card. Oh, very nice. I don't know if you're familiar with Kali, but she is the great mother. I have been working with Kali for years, and she really helps with motherhood, like standing in your full authority. And she also teaches you detachment from that authority, humility, always underlying. And a mother should never be intrusive. A mother should just be a generator of love. That's it, really, just a generator of love. Because if you're generating love as a mom or a dad, you're creating a platform of love. So that way when your kids come through, you're just basking in their presence and witnessing their experience. I'm not here to tell them how to do it or what to do or where to go or what decision. I'm not even interested in that. I'm so eager to watch them and witness them figure everything out on their own. It's super awesome. So this is the card. She appears fierce, and yet she is benign. Her oracle brings the message that a situation which may frighten or intimidate you is well within your capacity to handle. No matter how dramatic or intense a situation may appear to be at this time, it shall eventually be little more than a passing memory and not have any negative bearing upon your future. That is one thing that I taught my boys to mantra. This time too shall pass. When they are in the sacred fires. The sacred fires is when suddenly they don't feel like they have any control and the carpet is being slipped out from underneath them, and they at this point don't know who's coming into their living room and having a seat on their couch and exploring their life. They have no idea. And so that's what the sacred fires is when you're in a forest and you can't see where you're going, but you have to trust your instincts, your inner navigational system. That happens periodically throughout our life because we're being tested. Our higher spirit is luring you to them, and they're going to do that over and over throughout your life, but we have so much resistance to it that it's like it's a continuous cycle throughout your life of you trying to pull yourself into this higher presence. So it's important to understand that this time too shall pass. You're coming out of it. It's going to be easy. Easier than you ever thought. So let's see what you're surrendering with this insecurity. I want to just clear this energy out for you. Surrender to the magic of who you are and surrender to success. It's right, gossip. Whatever you're telling yourself. Surrender fear. Let go of fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment and focus on solutions and celebrate every baby step forward. You are ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks. And I want to ground you in this energy, right? I know that a lot of us I want to be an astronaut, and so I'm thinking about being an astronaut, but I don't realize the purpose is in the process of becoming the astronaut. So, right, when I say surrender to the magic of who you are, Spirit is asking you to look yourself directly in the face, in the mirror, and love yourself unconditionally. You are absolutely magical, okay? Surrender to success. That tells me in a grounded way that you are in alignment and you have navigated this, whatever you're experiencing at this time, very well. Whether you can translate this reading into a relationship, into a career, it's a universal reading that gives you the current energies that you're working with. If you know what energy is on the table, every experience you have is going to resonate and make sense. So every day, it's important to check your spiritual vitals. Know what you are vibrating at so you know what you're pulling in. What you send out into the universe comes back. So be mindful of the energy you're sending. If I'm talking about Bob and I'm saying critical things about Bob, somebody's probably saying something about me and sending me that energy. It's like those times when you suddenly don't feel good or you suddenly get psychic attacks. It's because you have karmic connections that you're still attached to and you haven't cut that cord. Everybody's doing what they're doing because they know it. That's what they know how to do. We're all just trying to figure it out. We weren't all raised in an ecosystem that nurtured our soul. And so every one of us is in survival, majority. So when you enter into a room, remember, don't act out of survival. Like when I enter a room, I go and I find a seat. And whoever spirit wants me to connect to, that individual will find me. We will connect. It'll be effortless. There will be no force or resistance. And if I'm there for long enough and there's nothing, I just leave. I'm not trying to make my way. But I do understand that I came from frequencies that I don't want to entertain. And in order for my higher spirit to entertain the higher frequencies, I've got to just be present and allow spirit to bring to me my job is just to show up. My job is to take action and show up and do the thing. Okay. So I got emotions. This is the high vibe deck. Feel your emotions, be with them, honor them, process them, then move on and enjoy your life. No sense in staying there. I also got affirmations and vibe holder. So you are a vibe holder. Think of someone you love, something that makes you happy, or imagine your favorite place. Again, I just keep going back to this card. Your dreams are coming true and they're tangible. They're right there. Look, they're right in front of that individual. Your dreams are tangible and you've already surrendered. You've been there, done that, and got the t-shirt. You are ready to bring this open that lid. Like close your eyes and open the lid and let the butterfly free. Let the butterfly free. Hold that feeling. Hold it for as long as you can. The longer you hold on to good feelings, the longer they stay. Change the tape by telling yourself positive stories. I am amazing. I love my life. Good luck follows me. I embrace my magnificence. I am a high vibrational being. I create affirming thoughts. I deserve love. I am joyful. I am beautiful. I have an abundance of self-worth. That was really good. All those cards came out. And just for funsies, let's go ahead and pull an angel number. Compromise. 0707. Let go of what no longer serves you. Stop holding on to grudges. Express your emotions. Again, Cancer in Jupiter has predominantly appeared in all of my readings. It's just been mind-blowing. I love Cancer in energy. It is the depth of your soul. It's the layer after layer of the darkness that you were molded from. So it's best just to move on. So here it says, where there's a lack of understanding, it's best to just move on. The truth will set you free. And we've already said that multiple times in this reading. Your spirit guides are surrounding you. You are fully supported. It's an honor to be here. If this video resonated, subscribe, like, share it with a friend who you think might benefit. Again, we're all in this together, and it's my absolute honor to be here and create this video for you. Until next time.